all the same, if there's anything they can do, fine. If they can't, we've seen it before. When Lobby Stars were crowned champions, the league ended abruptly. Same thing is about to repeat. But let's see how they can finish the season within the period given to them. So not a tentative drum. They should look at it and see how it's going to work. If not, then they can look at the points per game. I'm sure every club owners will want to say, okay, there's nothing we can do. In order for us to have the campaigners for the continent, let's go with that points per game. Remember the last time, some clubs were not happy about that decision, but it was just the only way out. And the same thing is about to repeat. But all the same, I think it is better for you to have your continental campaigners than not to have any at all. So we are a professional body, and we know that it's really, really nice for your clubs to represent in the continent. Look at what Enyimba did last time out. So knowing full well that the sports unified the nation and the kind of joy, and happiness sports brings to the people. So let's see how they can go. But if it ends this way, if they are not going to play for Super 4, for instance, Ibrahim, and they say, okay, let's go with the way it is right now, then Kwara United will be flying Nigeria's flag in the continent, also with Kano Pillars, because of their position at the moment. But all the same, it will be better for the best teams from Nigeria to campaign for us in the continent than just to get clubs to represent us. I would have wanted the club to finish the season, the season to end normally, so that we know those that qualify. Because with Enyimba, with their performance so far this season, where they are right now, 5th position, they could, and they've got about 2 outstanding games, they could have finished in a better place. But whatever decision they are to go with, I think I have to go with them, because what matters is that you get your campaigners for the continent.
The Chief Operating Officer of the League Management Company, Saliu Abubakar, well, he didn't respond to inquiries from journalists about what it's going to be the next step of action. So we're waiting to see what will happen. We hear that the 20 clubs and the LMC, they will meet today in Abuja to determine the next line of action. So these things, they call them force majeure in sports, in football in particular. So something has to be done. They have to look for a way forward, because CAF is insisting now that by the 30th of June, we want to know the teams that will be representing you. And if you've not ended the league, there's no way to know. So you have got to look for a way to end the league so that you can present your teams, because otherwise it will mean that you will not play. It's as simple as that. That's what is going to happen. The same thing happened in women's football, and that's why the Nigeria Women's Football League, they had to truncate the league after 13 matches. They were supposed to play 26 matches, 13 at home, 13 away, but they decided that they will end it after the first round, and then they will have a Super 6. So the clubs that were 1 to 6 will play a Super 6 to determine who will win, and then the close battling relegation, they are going to play the relegation playoff, and after that they will know the 2 clubs that will be relegated. Okay, so that is the situation with the MPFL. We hope that they will find a way and resolve this issue as soon as possible, so that Nigerian clubs can be represented at the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederation Cup. Right now we have just Enyimba playing in the CAF Confederation Cup. And they were also in action yesterday.
The game ended 2-2. 4 goals in that game. The way it started, it looks as if the Anambra Warriors, talking about Sifanyoba, who has been poor. They were going to run away with the 3 points, but Enyimba fought back and were able to get a point from that game. Well, all the same, I think I haven't played a tough match to get qualification to the quarterfinals of the ongoing CAF Confederation Cup, and now they are still trying to meet up to see how they can still get another ticket at the end of the season. So it was a tough match for the Abayali fans, though they played at home, but also for the Anambra Warriors to have been able to have that kind of performance away from home. I think that was really, really great. So kudos to FC Enyimba, but for Enyimba International, they're always the first to reckon with anytime, any day. So I wouldn't say they played poorly. For them to have been able to come back and get a point, I think that tells you how good they are. But all they need to do, there's room for improvement. Want to see Enyimba improve and dominate whenever they're on the pitch.
All right, guys, we'll go on this quick break. We'll be right back.
since I switched to Mamador 100% pure cooking oil. Family meal times have been so rewarding. You see, Mamador 100% pure cooking oil is cholesterol-free and contains omega-6 and 9, proven to keep heart healthy. Not only that, it also makes my food taste delicious.
You sure know how to take care of my stomach.
And your heart, especially. Switch to Mamador and enjoy healthy and tasty meals. Mamador is tested and approved by the Nigerian Heart Foundation. Cook with Mamador. Your heart will thank you.
Uncle Dentist, what can be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shay, they use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Now, hole for teeth they cause most tooth pain will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate. Oh yes, Nasco quality cornflakes are so full of nourishing goodness because they are whole-flaked cornflakes. Whole-flaked cornflakes are made by a natural flaking process that retains all the natural goodness of the whole corn for whole nutrition, whole taste, and whole crunchiness for the whole family. So next time you're eating cornflakes, make sure it's whole-flaked Nasco cornflakes. Nasco cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
Welcome back to Sports Fiesta live on 92.7 KFM Benin City with me, Sali Ibrahim, the Sports Ibracadabra, and Egosa Egwekan, the Sports Maestro. Okay, let's go to Italy now and talk about our former player, Joel Obi. We hear that Pisa forward Michael Marconi has received a 10-game ban for using a racist phrase against Chievo Verona midfielder Joel Obi. The incident occurred during their 2-2 draw on December 22, 2020. Marconi was originally cleared after the first hearing a couple of months ago. However, new evidence came to light before the appeal, and their response was to find him guilty. Marconi has been given a 10-game ban, but it will take a few days before the judges explain what's changed their judgment. Chievo released a statement at the time claiming that Marconi said the revolt of the slaves. That was in reference to something that happened a long time ago. So he said it to Obi following a challenge. And Joel Obi said, when I heard that phrase, my mind went for a few minutes asking myself if I'd really heard it. Then I kept on playing, but my focus was elsewhere. It's incredible that someone could use words like that today, especially with all the efforts people are making to weaken the disease of racism. And now he's been given a 10-game ban. But maybe he should have been banned from football for a year, 2 years, 5 years, perhaps. That would really...
That's the truth. A stiffer penalty is what we want for racism. If not, there's no way we are going to fight racism. People are pulling out of the social media, boycotting it right now, clubs, associations, and here you still have somebody using that kind of phrase, revolt of the slaves. What does that signify? I think Marconi should have been given a stiffer punishment than this. But if you ban him for like 2 years, well, that could go on to affect his footballing career. But not all the same. I think as time goes on, now that we are talking about stiffer punishment, a time will come that a player could be banned for 10 years or maybe 6 years, and the player could just announce his retirement, and that will serve as a lesson to many others who could serve the same long-term suspension. So for me, that was really bad, and not now when we are trying to kick out racism. Everyone is trying to put all their efforts in wiping out racism, and here you still have somebody, using that phrase, on an opponent. It's really, really bad, and I think I agree with the decision that they've taken. I have to commend them, but if they can do better than this, so that people will not see it as, okay, maybe at the end of the day, the only thing that they will do to me to ban me for 5 games or 10 games, after which I'll come back to the pitch. And meanwhile, I could. And these players, once they have this kind of suspension, if I were to be a club owner, I won't pay you. because that was that was indiscipline, and that was stupid on the part of the player. How can you use racist words on the player when we all are fighting racism? Then if you are banned for 10 matches, you don't get paid. So at the end of the day, by the time the player comes back to playing, then he will know how to react to issues. No matter what happens to you, there are ways to resolve issues, not what he used. But so for that 10 match ban, well, that's just a step in the right direction. But we want stiffer penalties, because if not, racism will not be wiped away.
Okay, still talking about this horrible thing called racism. We hear that Manchester City and England forward Raheem Sterling has received racist abuse on the social media, and this is coming just 2 days after English clubs their 4-day boycott of social media in response to ongoing abuse. A spokesperson for Facebook, which owns Instagram, because the insult came on Instagram, it said that they had removed the comment and they are taking action against the account that is responsible. And look, this is what people have been telling them to do, and here now they say they are planning developing an app that will you will not even reveal that, you will not even receive it. Okay, if somebody is racially abusing you now, they are going to stop it from even getting to you. And of course, I'm sure they will also take action against the person who sent that message, so that you don't even know, you don't even get to know that somebody, it doesn't become public, which is the most important thing. Just ensure that it doesn't even get public, because that's what these racists want. They know that what they are doing, that many of them are actually afraid. They can't even talk to the person face to face.
That's why they go to their
they just go to keyboard warriors and send a message to you. They want the whole world to see. They want people to see it, and so that people can start reacting. So if the social media platforms can ensure that it doesn't even get published in the first place, the moment it just comes, it's flagged, they can just immediately take it off and punish the person
without
who sent that.
Even knowing that such things happen. I think it's
so that's what I heard that they are going to do. So they added that the abuse that was sent to Raheem Sterling was unacceptable. They said, as part of our ongoing work in this space, we will soon be rolling out new tools to help prevent people seeing abusive messages from strangers. And then they, however, said no single thing will fix this challenge overnight, but we are committed to doing what we can to keep our community safe from abuse. 2 Manchester City supporters, they were banned from football matches for 5 years in January 2020 for racially abusing Sterling. Fans of Manchester City, the club that he plays for, racially abused him. Then Chelsea, they also banned a fan for life for using racially abusive language towards Sterling during a match at Stamford Bridge in December 2018. And it's really sad, because Chelsea have also got black players. Some of their greatest players have been black, and you are insulting a black player. Then 2 years ago, several footballers took part in the Enough campaign, which is a 24-hour social media boycott in protest of online abuse. However, players across all sports, they continue to be subjected to racial abuse. It's really, really sad what is going on.
Honestly, but I'm really happy with the app that they are trying to come up with. If they can do that, I think that will be better, because this racist words are really, eating deep into many people. It has caused so many people depression. They've gone into depression as a result of what they read on their social platform, because of what one person or how one person feels about their performance or what is happening and all that. So the best thing is for someone not to see it, and if they can do that and also go on to punish whoever sent that message, that should be just the way to nip it in the bud. So for me, like they said, this is not something we can fight overnight, but if there are tools that can prevent people from seeing this kind of messages, I think that would be the best, because if you don't see it and read it, I don't think you have that kind of I don't think you feel bad or be emotional that somebody is racially abusing you or posting banana stuff and other things that, so many things have happened as far as racism is concerned. So they just have to do something, just the way everyone rejected the ESL breakaway Super League, and to date people are still protesting to show that there will be no repeat of such a project. So the same thing, now that they are putting their heads together to see how they can develop that app, I think that will be the best way to just nip it in the bud. So with that, players will have no longer be saying all these kind of things, but they will not be bold enough to meet the players one-on-one or talk to them, because they know that it's not going to be possible with the stewards and the security and all that. So for me, this is the best way to go. Let's wait for that app, and if that is done, come on, I'll be so happy.
Okay, the South African Football Association, SAFA, they have appointed Belgian Hugo Broos as the new Bafana coach. The former Cameroonian manager is expected in the country next week, where he is scheduled to meet all football stakeholders, including members of the media. Speaking from Europe, the highly decorated tactician, he said he was excited to take care of one of the biggest brands on the African continent. Yes, they are a very big brand when it comes to organization and everything. South Africa has a rich football history and is among the powerhouses of the continent. Well, I don't know about that one, no. The last time they won the African Cup of Nations was 1996, and we know that Nigeria was not at that competition. But when you talk of other things, organization, quality, you've got to give it to South Africa. But the Bafana as a football playing nation in Africa, I don't know whether we can call them a superpower now on the African continent. He went on to say the country has full quality, and I am coming to coach a truly football nation with massive potential. Yeah, they've got a potential. What we expected that it was going to be Benny McCarthy because of reports coming out of South Africa. Some even said he had signed, he had got the job and everything. But now we know for sure that it is Hugo Broos.
Yeah, good enough for the Belgian coming on to take over the job of South Africa. I think this is really good, because I'm sure Mazulu wouldn't even want former Bafana forward Benny McCarthy to leave them now that they are doing very well, closing in on the Mamelodi Sundowns, and they're having a good season. So all they want for Benny is just to concentrate and focus. Maybe as time goes on, I think it's a matter of time. Benny will coach South Africa Sunday, but at this time, I think he should concentrate more on the club football and allow Hugo Broos. And Hugo Broos getting this job, 69-year-old, he has got a whole lot of experience. He has managed before. He has done well with Cameroon before, and also this is the second national team job that's will be taken. So having proven that, yes, he has what it takes, I think this is one way to go. And I just hope it goes on to rebrand South African football and turn their players to superstars, because most of them, they are average players, honestly. Even Percy Tau, that was doing very well with Mamelodi Sundowns, when he moved to Brighton and Hove Albion, he was loaned out and now he's on loan. So for me, I think they still have a long way to go, and they've got talent, they've got players who could go on to hold their own, but they need that manager that will just bond them together and give them that confidence to go ahead to do good stuff. Not qualifying alone is a slap in the face of South Africa, let alone talking about going on to win another AFCON. So I think Hugo Broos can bring that vibe, back to Bafana's camp.
By the way, a player being loaned out doesn't make him average. Percy Tau is a fantastic player. Maybe something happened, and that's why he was unable to hold down the regular shot in Brighton, but doesn't mean that he will not come good. Anyway, last night we had this for the last time in London. inspiring, spine-tingling UEFA Champions League anthem heard for the last time at Stamford Bridge this season. Yeah, you know that the venue for the final is Istanbul, so that's where we are going to hear it one more time this season. But we've had it across the different clubs that were participating in the competition. On Tuesday, we had it for the last time at the Etihad Stadium for this season, and yesterday it was the last time that we had it at Stamford Bridge. So Chelsea took on Real Madrid last night. Sergio Ramos was back, Valverde was back, a couple of other players who were out injured came back, but it didn't bother Chelsea because they won that game 2-0. A comprehensive win for Chelsea. Should have been more, in fact, when you look at the chances that Chelsea had. Real Madrid also had chances, and we've got to give some credit to the manager of Edward Mendy, the coach of the goalkeeper of Chelsea, made 2 absolutely breathtaking saves off Karim Benzema. And there were some other saves that he made which were not as spectacular, but especially the first one when Karim Benzema had his back to goal, and he got that pass, he just swiveled and took the shot on the turn. And how Edward Mendy was able to anticipate that he was going to shoot, and he dived full length to save that was just absolutely magnificent. And it wasn't like it was at the corner. It wasn't going to the corner, it was like in the middle. So he had to get a strong hand to it, because if it were at very close to the post, then you just touch it a bit and it will go off. But it was still in a place where even after touching the hand of the goalkeeper, it could have gone in. But he had got a strong hand to it and made that wonderful save. Then the other one, perhaps looking more aesthetically spectacular, but the first save was more difficult, because that one, it was a header. It didn't have enough power to really trouble Edward Mendy, but because Edward Mendy is so tall, I think he's 6'6" or so, he was able to parry that ball over the bar. So Chelsea winning 2-0. N'Golo Kante once again man of the match.
He has won so many man of the match awards. I think Chelsea, congrats to the Blues, and now that it has been confirmed, all England final. But if Chelsea are to win this Champions League, I don't think it will be good for them to waste the kind of chances that they wasted yesterday. N'Golo Kante could have had a goal. Mason Mount could have had
he scored, but he should have had at least one more.
One more.
Kai Havertz should have scored.
That Rudiger was a long-range one.
That Rudiger, you expected the goalkeeper to save that, but we've seen that go in. Thiago Silva also should have scored. There was a free header, but take off him.
The busiest of the two goalkeepers yesterday was Thibaut Courtois, and even Hazard, also played in that game. But I think Chelsea dominated. They really finished the job. That first half when that goal went on. Even for Timo Werner, he haven't scored that goal. Though he was celebrating, these days of VAR, whatever happens, you have to be sure before, and I was like, wow, this is really good. And the way Mr. Matt lofted that ball, that hit the crossbar for him to nod into the net, I think that was good.
That wasn't Mr. Mount, that was Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz, rather. And that was his goal, first goal in 17 appearances in the Champions League. Really, really poor for someone like Timo Werner, but I'm sure that would go on to also give him that confidence that just...
At least yesterday he didn't miss any
clear chances, but then not the same. Tuchel has played in the Champions League before last season. This is an opportunity.
He's the first coach to qualify for back-to-back
with two different teams.
Champions League finals with two different teams, and he was told that at the
press conference,
the post-match interview, and he said, well, and they were portraying it in a very good light, that there must be something that he's doing right, and he now said, well, or maybe there's something I'm doing wrong, because he's with a different team. And of course, you know what happened? He was sacked in the at PSG, his former club. But now he's in the final PSG and not. But Thomas Tuchel is somebody that is a journalist delight when you interview him. He always knows what to say. And even when they brought in that point. He just found a way to make it funny and everything. But I think it was a very good performance.
Well, the two sides will have to bring everything to the pitch if they are to win it, and we are going to have one winner at the end of 90 minutes. It could go into extra time and all that, but for Chelsea, well, this is took us time to go past that hurdle. If he fails, it could hurt him, but I think he has done well for Chelsea, and I don't think Chelsea fans will, ask for his head and all that, because nobody expected that. Having taken over from Lampard, he's going to go far as far as the Champions League final. I never expected that, but I expected him to rebrand Chelsea, to bring back that glory days, and to make them, a team to be feared. But getting to the Champions League final, come on, the guy is good. Defensively, he's fantastic. Though all they need to do right now is to be clinical up front, and that's the only way.
For Chelsea going forward, I think it is pretty obvious what Chelsea needs right now. They need a hard-hitting number 9. They need a number 9 in the mold of Harry Kane, in the mold of
Lukaku or Haaland.
Lukaku. Well, he was their former player. They let him go, but maybe if they can get him back. And Erling Braut Haaland. I heard that Robert Lewandowski might want to leave Germany, so if they can go for him too, they need somebody who will guarantee 25-30 goals every season. If they have that, you will even be making them the favorite for the UEFA Champions League final, but they have a problem scoring goals. It's a bit strange because under Frank Lampard, they didn't particularly have that problem. What they had was some conceding goals, and now they don't concede goals, but they find it difficult scoring goals. So I think it's pretty clear what Chelsea needs going ahead next season. Thomas Tuchel had said he was going to hunt down Manchester City from day one in the next season, but the hunting can start right now because he's playing Manchester City this weekend, and then in the final of the UEFA Champions League, he will still get to play them. I mean, if he is able to win the UEFA Champions League at the expense of Manchester City, we want to say, well, perhaps Chelsea has even caught up with them already. But they will have to find a way to take care of their goal-scoring deficiencies. For Real Madrid, what do they need going forward? I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at that team and I'm thinking maybe the team is too old. Maybe they've got to bring in younger players and try to completely revamp that team. Well, they've got a couple of young players, but when you still see Luka Modric in the midfield and he plays regularly, it's not like there is one young man who's keeping him out. I recall many years back when Jose Mourinho was there as the manager of Real Madrid, and Pepe was saying some things about his management style and everything. And Mourinho said, look, I know Pepe's problem. His problem is a 19-year-old called Rafael Varane. A 31-year-old is being benched. He has lost his place in the team to a 19-year-old. So it is eating him up. So at that point, what I'm saying is that you had younger players who were taking over from the older generation. But Sergio Ramos did not play the first game. And everybody was talking about Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos is 35. He played yesterday. He didn't look like somebody who's been out of the game for a very long time. That's of course, he is Sergio Ramos. He's got it. Like Thiago Silva, who is 36. But you know that, look, these guys are absolute legends of the game. But when you have a situation where you have to wait for Sergio Ramos to come back to even have any confidence that, okay, you are going to do well. I understand the aura of Sergio Ramos. That is, there are people that are like that are born leaders. I've said this several times that if you've ever been in the presence of Stephen Keshi, he doesn't need to say anything. You feel that aura. It's magnetic. It's powerful. You just feel it that this guy is a born leader. I believe Sergio Ramos, John Terry, Vincent Kompany, Patrick Vieira, these are players that are like that just get it. But when you look at some other clubs, even when you have the captain, the leader who is there but is at a certain age, you see that there are younger players that can even keep him out of the team. So even if he doesn't play, if he's not physically there, he could be on the third line giving them confidence, but the younger ones can do that. But you look at, they needed Sergio Ramos to play. They needed the Croatian midfielder Luka Modric. They needed him to play. they needed Tony Cruz to play. These guys are
over 30.
Past 30.
Yeah.
And you have, of course, it's good to have players like that in the team. But when they are the first choice, when without them, there will be a problem in the team, it doesn't bode well for the future of a club. And when you have a club like Chelsea that can run for hours on, and when you have N'Golo Kante, even though he's 30, he's still covers 30% of the earth. And you have Mason Mount, you have this. When you come across teams like that, they're not going to give you any breathing space, and eventually it's going to show that maybe your team is aging.
Yeah, that's what Real Madrid is showing at the moment. Yes, they are good, no doubt about that. But when you look at the players you just highlighted and their experience and the age so far, the fact that they are still making it, and without them, the manager will still feel, he's missing his key players and all that. Well, that depends on the manager. Zinedine Zidane, he has every right to tell the board that, okay, I want some young defenders that are really good, that can compete with these guys, so that when they are not playing, come on, these guys can also go on to do great stuff. And by the time they leave the stage, these guys must have grown in confidence to fill in the shoes of these guys, rather than waiting to bring somebody that will just come and you expect the person to acclimatize and just hit the ground running without playing for the club before. So it's going to be difficult. We've got quality players, or younger players who Real Madrid could go on to have. There's Dayot Upamecano right now, though he's been linked to the club. Martins de Ligt. We've got Jules Koundé of Sevilla, a very good centre back at that, and also
well, they're getting David Alaba. He himself is
he's not a young player.
But he is in the prime of his career. He's 28. He's 28, and we know he's a Rolls Royce of a footballer. So it will be great for them to have him. It will be great if they can get Kylian Mbappe, if they can get some other players. They really need to overhaul that team. That's what I see in
maybe four players joining them could just in different departments could go on to boost that team. That's what they want. I'm sure the next transfer window they are going to hit the market. But then we know they are looking forward to forwards, and several forwards have been linked to Real Madrid. But also that depends on their centre back, and that's also midfield. They need young blood and good players who are maybe in their 20s that could play for like 6 years for Real Madrid.
Well, Thibaut Courtois returned to Stamford Bridge last night, as I mentioned earlier in the day. Maybe that was yesterday. Maybe he's a bit lucky that the fans weren't at the stadium. For now, fans are not allowed. So I'm sure it will have been a horrid time for him. But he did very well, extremely well. He kept that scoreline low. If he had not been as good as he was last night, maybe it would have been an embarrassing scoreline for Real Madrid. Anyway, let's move on now and look at what's happening elsewhere. We look at the gossip section, and we can tell you that Manchester City, they will consider a move for West Ham and England midfielder Declan Rice, who's 22, if 36-year-old Brazilian Fernandinho leave the club when his contract runs out in the summer. Declan Rice, of course, some big clubs are after him. We had that from Chelsea. If Lampard were still the manager of Chelsea, you could have bet your bottom dollar that the next player who will walk in through the door would be Declan Rice, because he admired him for quite a while. Liverpool, they have agreed personal terms with RB Leipzig French defender Ibrahima Konate, who's 21. He's set to join them on a 5-year deal. Egypt forward Mohamed Salah wants to leave Liverpool, and Paris Saint-Germain are planning to make a bid for the 28-year-old France winger Kylian. If 22-year-old France striker Kylian Mbappe leaves in the summer. Yeah, well, this is one player, Mohamed Salah. Perhaps Real Madrid should be coming for him. Meanwhile, Paris Saint-Germain are looking to strengthen in defense, and they have identified Tottenham and Ivory Coast right back Said Aurier, who's 28, as a potential summer target. West Ham, they have joined Chelsea and a host of other clubs in the race for Brentford's 25-year-old England striker Ivan Toney, who will cost £35 million. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp will absolutely be staying at the club, even if the Reds fail to qualify for the Champions League. This is coming from the man himself. Premier League bound Norwich City, they've gained promotion. They are in contention with Southampton and West Ham to sign Manchester United and England's under-21 fullback Brandon Williams, who's 20 on loan. Okay, and finally, let's just give you this before we look at other issues. If Wayne Rooney manages to keep Derby County in the Championship, he will look to sign Brighton and Republic of Ireland centre-back Shane Duffy, who's 29, who he has spent the season on loan at Celtic. Okay, time for us to leave the gossip section and go to other sports. Let's look at what's happening in the world of golf. Former world number one, Rory McIlroy, he has described the $1 billion golf Super League as a money grab, and he has backed the PGA Tour's threat to ban rebels who sign up to the proposed circuit. So it's not just in football that you have the threat of the Super League. Even in golf, you're having this. I think theirs even came out last year or 2 years ago, and they started talking about this. And Rory McIlroy has been consistent in his criticism of the proposal.
No, he doesn't want to be part of it, and he thinks that is in the best way to go about it. That's what they're having right now is enough. But there are still players who want to go with that kind of proposal, just like we had in the other sports. But all the same, if it's something that will be nice for everybody, will benefit everybody, I think everyone has to be carried along. So for someone like Rory McIlroy, who has won the major, to be talking about this as something that's does not bode well, because if it's okay, they just want to make the money. They're looking at the money aspect alone and all that. I think other golfers should also come to terms to see how they can ensure that this does not see the light of day. If it's something that will benefit everybody, I'm sure. Even if Rory is criticizing the projects or the idea, other golfers could come out to say, like Dustin Johnson and other golfers could also come out and say, yes, okay, we want this to happen, and we look at it from different angles, and something that will go to favor every party. So for me, so long as criticizing it, I don't think it's something right, and I hope in the next few days, other golfers will also come out to lend their voice.
Many golfers have already come out to say they are against it. Okay, let's quickly go to the NBA now and look at what happened in basketball. All
right, Boston Celtics, we are in fine form early hours of today, and beat Orlando Magic 132 points to 96. Best performer for Boston Celtics, Kemba Walker, scored 32 points, 3 rebounds and 4 assists, while Mo Bamba recorded 19 points for Orlando Magic, 15 rebounds and 1 assist. Portland Trail Blazers defeated Cleveland Cavaliers 141 to 105 points. That was a dominant display. Damian Lillard got 32 points, 3 rebounds and 9 assists for Portland, while Cleveland Cavaliers had Kevin Love, who recorded 18 points, 8 rebounds and 2 assists. As we have finished Suns, we are beaten, though they've already booked their spots. They were beaten by Atlanta Hawks. Dominant display from the Hawks, 135 to 103 points. Devin Booker scored 30 points, 3 rebounds and 5 assists for Phoenix Suns, while Trae Young was the best performer for Atlanta Hawks, scoring 16 points, 2 rebounds and 12 assists. Sacramento Kings took on Indiana Pacers, and the Kings won 104 to 93 points. And for the Kings, Delon Wright was their best performer. He got 23 points. 23 points, 7 rebounds and 6 assists, while Domantas Sabonis of Indiana Pacers recorded 17 points, 13 rebounds and 8 assists. Philadelphia 76ers still flying high, where they were winners over Houston Rockets 135 to 115 points. Joel Embiid contributed 34 points, 12 rebounds and 2 assists, while Kelly Olynyk for Houston Rockets got 27 points, 11 rebounds and 8 assists. Washington Wizards were beaten by Milwaukee Bucks by just a point, 135 to 134 points. Russell Westbrook had 29 points, 12 rebounds and 17 assists, triple-double, while Giannis Antetokounmpo got 23 points, 9 rebounds and 8 assists. Memphis Grizzlies defeated Minnesota Timberwolves 139 to 135 points. Joe Morant of Memphis recorded 37 points, 4 rebounds, and 10 assists, while Anthony Edwards of Timberwolves scored 42 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. New York Knicks were beaten by Denver Nuggets 97 points to 113. Emmanuel Quickly of New York Knicks got 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal, while Nikola Jokic scored 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. And finally, San Antonio Spurs lost to Utah Jazz 126 to 94 points. Drew Eubanks of San Antonio Spurs scored 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 1 assist, while Jordan Clarkson of Utah Jazz got 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. That is what went down in the NBA early hours of this of today. Then tomorrow we've got a couple here. Chicago Bulls will be at Charlotte Hornets. Brooklyn Nets versus Dallas Mavericks. Washington Wizards will take on Toronto Raptors. Memphis Grizzlies will face Detroit Pistons. Atlanta Hawks versus Indiana Pacers. Oklahoma City Thunder will take on Golden State Warriors, while Los Angeles Lakers will take on Los Angeles Clippers. A battle of the LA.
Okay, that's what happened in the world of basketball. Sorry, the Madrid Open is on, but we do not have time to take that in the evening. Hopefully, we'll be giving you results from the Madrid Open Tennis Championship. Okay, let's go to the text messages now. This one says, Chelsea for final up, blue for life, Tony G from RCC, which is final up. Okay. Greetings, my sports idols. I relish an English final, and City has set the precedent. Enjoying you guys so much. Willis. Thank you, Willis. It's such a shame that okay, this isn't sports. Let's see. Good morning, Oga Ibrahim. All of us Chelsea fans in Edo State wish to request that you become a Chelsea fan because we know you like good football. Please don't turn down the offer. Francis in Okada. How do you know you're not preaching to the converted? I'm not going to say anything more than that. It says, if there is anything I have known you for, though have not been to see you as a person, is your unbiased or unjust doing. Thanks for the anthem. I was angry because of the chance missed. I wasn't scared of Ramos, and I thank God they all played. Congratulations to all Chelsea fans. Congratulations to Tuchel. Jonah from Dumez. Okay. Good morning to Sports Orators. My name is Felix Ahaine. I just want to say a big congratulations to Chelsea fans worldwide. I wish Chelsea players all the best in the final. Good morning, sports gods. Congrats to Chelsea for qualifying for the UEFA Champions League final, and also Chelsea fans should thank Frank Lampard for bringing in Edward Mendy before he was sacked, and also they are blessed to have a player like Mount and Kante. They were fantastic, although I wanted Madrid to win, but they were playing like old men. Once again, congrats to Chelsea, always from Lucky Way. Good morning, Ibrakadabra and Egosa. Congratulations to Chelsea Football Club. They were much more business-minded than Real Madrid Football Club. Real Madrid need fresh legs. Sylvester, Man City for life. Chelsea winning the Champions League and FA Cup this season, and they are winning the quadruple next season. Same out. Okay. All the conducting that Ramos was doing in the stand in the first leg, he couldn't do it on the pitch. People get bad mouth, guys. Maybe waiting them talk Go no, okay, no waiting then talk go farm. Nine then talk go house. Mike Sapelero. Okay. Money Ibrahim, you did not believe Chelsea will go past Atletico Madrid and reach the final. I'm glad they proved you wrong. Not from Siloko. Really, they proved me wrong. And I said Chelsea will not go past Real Madrid. Did I say that? So how did you know that I did not believe that Chelsea will go past Real Madrid? You know my mind now, so I think you should know where to draw the line, please. I hope fans will be allowed in Istanbul in the final, because it will make the difference, the atmosphere more lovely. Yes, I think about 4,000 Chelsea fans and 4,000 Manchester City fans will be allowed in. Good morning, sir. I think Kai Havertz has started showing up. Yeah, exactly. I remember we were saying that, look, Frank, Kai Havertz is a generational superstar. If you've watched him, you will understand what we're saying. But someone like he's a flop and all of that. So this guy came to Chelsea. It's a new league, new city, new country. And to make matters worse, he got COVID. And from what we heard, he got the worst form of COVID. His symptoms were really, really severe. Okay, guys, time for us to blow the final whistle on this edition of the show.
This is really huge, so I'm absolutely delighted with this spirit and big credit to this team. This was an energetic performance full of positive attitude and hunger. We are in 2 finals now, and the sacrifice that I personally have made has been worth it since day one. I was part of an amazing club from the first day, and I felt huge support from day one. I'm very grateful to be on the sideline with this team. I will say it always. For me, Bayern Munich with Manchester City are the benchmark, and we wanted to close the gap to City. Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel says Manchester City are the benchmark after his side secured a famous 3-1 aggregate win over Real Madrid to set up an All-English Champions League final. And that's the final whistle on the show this morning.
All right, that's our package. We'll see you at 4 p.m. on the fresh edition of Sports Fiesta. I'm Saliu Ibrahim. I've been doing this with Egosa Aigbekan. Please stay tuned. KU News Update is at 9. Bye-bye.